Few things in this world are as high or as intensely anticipated as a new iPhone model. Flocks upon flocks of people jump at the chance of viewing another iPhone being released into the world at an Apple event or a stream. So it's natural that the latest iPhone, that is, the iPhone 14, would garner the same enthusiastic response. Here's everything announced at the Apple event and everything we know about the new iPhone. First up, more than an iPhone. It can't be denied that the Apple brand is so much more than its iPhones, even if they're a big part of it. The empire that Steve Jobs built has essentially taken over the world, with a cult-like following that is as relentless as it is selectively blind. Over the years, iPhone and Apple products in general have gained a widespread appeal that is beyond explanation. Something about the sleek, simplistic designs of the electronics, combined with an elegant pitch and the insane processing speeds, has made people find the brand appealing, despite its extreme prices. In most countries, having a phone has been constituted as a status symbol, and it's kind of insane that a mere smartphone could have so much influence. But as it stands, that's the way of the world. On the subject of influence, Apple had its annual iPhone event of the year recently titled Far Out. Without making you wait too long, here's everything announced in the event. So let's talk about the new iPhone. You knew we couldn't resist talking about the new iPhone, not when the report is still so fresh. Apple announced two new iPhones for their 14th model, called the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 14 Plus. The iPhone is available with a 6.1-inch display and the Plus with a 6.7-inch display. But that is not the most interesting thing about them. As usual, Apple has amped up the front and rear cameras on both of these devices. There's a larger sensor on the rear camera's wide lens that improves low-light performance and even makes the night mode exposure twice as fast as before. On the front, a new 12-megapixel front autofocus camera takes the spotlight. But that's not all. In terms of camera improvement, the new phones include a new feature called the Photonic Engine, which just improves mid to low light performance for photos across all cameras. They've even got improved bionic chips with a 5-core GPU and even satellite connectivity, a feature restricted to emergency texting in the US and Canada. This satellite feature is especially handy since it has the ability to connect to satellite networks in emergency situations where your normal cell towers might not be functional. And to distinguish them from the normal text, they'll be encased in a gray bubble rather than the usual blue or green. You may be wondering if the design has been altered, and the answer is a resounding no. Fortunately enough for everyone who liked iPhone 13's no-nonsense design. But as we mentioned, the new iPhones have a larger display, particularly the 14 Plus with its 6.7-inch display that replaces iPhone 13 mini's 5.4-inch display. If anything, more features have stayed the same than changed. For example, both models have the same Retina XDR OLED display with True Tone, haptic touch, and up to 1200 nits of peak brightness. And internally, both the new iPhones have the same A15 Bionic chip that is in the iPhone 13 Pro models for faster graphics. In terms of the shades available, we have Midnight, Blue Starlight, and Purple, and iPhone's usual 128GB, 256GB, and 512GB options. Pre-orders for the new iPhones open on Friday, September 9th, and the shipping for both the iPhone 14 and the Plus will begin shipping on Friday, September 16th and Friday, October 7th, respectively. But wait, there's more. Did you know that all the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus models sold in the US will not have a built-in SIM card tray? Yep, they'll be relying entirely on eSIM technology. On the Apple website, the specs have confirmed that any iteration of the iPhone 14 is not compatible with physical SIM cards and instead has dual eSIM support, and this will allow customers to activate multiple cellular plans on a single device. If you're unfamiliar, an eSIM is a digital SIM that allows users to possess all the benefits of having a cellular plan without having to use a physical nano SIM card. However, understandably enough, the iPhones released in the US are the only ones with this additional feature, as many countries do not support an eSIM card yet. And what's the one thing that iPhone users have to deal with when it comes to iPhones? The terrible battery life, of course. Well, with the new iPhone 14 series, Apple has announced larger batteries that last for a longer period of time, even if they didn't go into much detail on that aspect. What we can expect is all of the new iPhones will offer longer battery life, coming in at right around an hour of improvement compared to previous models. iPhone 14 lasts up to 20 hours for video playback, up to 16 hours for streaming video playback, and up to 80 hours for audio playback, as it turns out, compared to iPhone 13's 19 hours of video playback, 15 hours of streaming video playback, and 75 hours for audio playback. These stats look pretty great. Here's another shocker. None of the new models of the iPhone 14 series will support the latest Wi-Fi 6E standard and instead remain limited to Wi-Fi 6 as per Apple's tech specs. And there were always rumors of the new phone not even supporting Wi-Fi 6. The thing is though, Wi-Fi 6E offers better performance with lower latency and also generally has faster data rates. But there's a bunch of new cases that were also launched with the new phones. And did you know that all of the new iPhone 14 models and the second generation AirPods Pro include support for Bluetooth 5.3? But for tech enthusiasts, the sad news is that we still don't really know about LE audio support for these devices. Let us translate. LE audio is a low-power audio streaming specification, one that would have multiple pros for Apple divides if accommodated, like better audio quality, longer battery life, and connection of multiple AirPods in a single iPhone, etc. One last thing before we move on. The new iPhone 14 features a Mac-like startup sound when turned on, and while it's a completely optional feature, it's still a fun one. Not to mention one that would be accessible to many who need such a feature for genuine use, like people who are legally blind or have low vision. Now, here are details about the Apple Watch Series 8. At the same annual event, Apple also introduced the Apple Watch Series 8, and it has the same overall design as Series 7, before you ask. The display is larger though, and curves around the edges, and there are all sorts of fun features we can discuss regarding the device. Did you know that Series 8 has a new body temperature sensor designed for women's health purposes, such as knowing when ovulation has occurred? This new sensor will measure the wearer's wrist temperature every 5 seconds overnight. It can even tell users and alert them of shifts in their baseline temperature on the Health app for various activities. This new sensor will join Apple's heart rate sensor and the ECG app to help users have a wide set of health features, according to Apple. The new models also have a car crash detection feature, which is exactly as it sounds. The feature will automatically connect you with emergency services when enabled and provide them with your location. Hell, it'll even notify emergency contacts in an unfortunate event like a severe car crash. There's a new low-power mode feature that many of us may enjoy, as that can help extend its typical 18-hour battery life to an impressive 36 hours. The Series 8 starts at $399 for GPS and $499 for cellular models. As of right now, it's available in Starlight, Midnight, Silver, and Red. For stainless steel versions, you have your usual silver, gold, and graphite. Finally, here are some other updates from the event. Okay, so the 4 models of iPhones in the 14 series include iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 14 Pro, and iPhone 14 Pro Max. The iPhone 14 Pro will have Dynamic Island, which is a new pill-shaped cutout that provides a rich and delightful new way to interact with activities, alerts, and notifications. And the advanced cameras on the phone make it thicker than the iPhone 13 Pro models. The color options for this phone include space black and deep purple. And the Series 8 wasn't the only Apple Watch unveiled. We also have the Apple Watch Ultra, which is agitated for athletes and explorers. And the Apple Watch SE is a budget option, as well as Apple budget options can be. AirPods Pro was also announced, and talk of the iOS 16 launching also took place. And that's all for this video. What do you think of this new iPhone? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed watching the video, be sure to leave a like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications by pressing the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.